Hey there, Ina Speak Simply Malekish, and I have invited a friend of mine, Cory, to join me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we have shared many a cup of coffee and had many deep conversations. And one of the things that I want us to talk about, especially the male perspective, because I've been doing a lot of videos with just me, and I really like the male-female perspective. I am at a point where I want to kick my heels up. I want to go listen to music. I would like to go dancing.
Right.
I've even thought, I'd like to go to a movie. I'd like to be able to go out. And even though I don't eat out that much, I would like to be able to go to a restaurant, sit with friends, visit and talk, or just a routine of mine, which is going to the gym and working out, and then going over to Williams Coffee Company, a little plug for him, and just sitting with friends and talking. And before I started my business day.
Yes.
And I really miss that. How about you?
Yes. I've always been kind of a social critter, if you will. It means a lot to me. And to be honest with you, that is one of my biggest concerns, is culturally how this is going to change that. Because, with the virus thing going on, and people are responding how they need to respond. Some of the responses we like, some not so much. But that's one thing that I really have besides a lot of our personal rights, if you will, that's one thing that I'm really concerned about, is the social atmosphere changing. Because for me personally, when you take that out of the equation, this is something I've thought about a lot, is, who are we? What do we have left? How am I going to fit into that? Do I want to fit into that?
Right.
Do I want to change who I am? Some things we have no choice, and there's certain things that we have to accept, just as a reality. Well, everything ultimately is the reality of it. But that is one of my big concerns, I like, I have a tendency to be a creature of habit. Marianne is way more spontaneous. So you put us together and we make a good pair. But I like to, do things a certain way, and going to the coffee shop and,
Kind of a pattern.
Yeah.
And it's comfortable and it's,
Yep. And certainly we've interrupted those patterns.
Yes.
And we can do anything for a short time.
Right.
And I believe that. But it will be interesting to see the long-term effects and how we adapt to them.
Well, and the short time has already gone beyond, and it's good that we're getting back to work, and that we're getting back to some normalcy. But like you said, when freedoms have been taken away from us, and I've never experienced in the United States, that's all I can speak about, not the world. I've never experienced where I have been told that, for whatever reasons, that I cannot.
Yeah.
Maybe I've stopped doing something myself, or my wisdom has said, no, this is not a good time to do this. If I'm not feeling well, I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to expose other people. I'll cancel. But I've never been told I can't, I shouldn't. I've never dealt with the control. And I think collectively we are ready to go dancing. We are now. We've been able to go hiking, and we've been taking. My husband and I took a drive, and we went to the Verdi River, and we were in the woods, and there was social distancing. There were some families, and it felt so good just to see the wide open spaces. I can't even imagine people who live in a city and how closed in that would be. So how this is going to impact us in the future. And are we going to have all of our freedoms that we have, that is guaranteed us in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And I really don't want to go political,
Right.
but this is something that is on everyone's mind. And I do want to speak honestly about this.
Sure, sure. The thought that I had the other day, because I'm in agreement with what you've just said. Constitutionally, morally, these are all great questions. I try and be a realist. My wife says sometimes I'm a pessimist. I don't know, maybe. I like to think that I can kind of temper, my being a pessimist with some optimism, and it all evens out. But I really strive to just be a realist, because I really believe that all we have is our perception of whatever our reality is.
Our perception.
And we have people that are, well, let me back up a little bit. I came to a realization financially in 2008. I realized
crashed.
we got hit hard. I realized that the experts didn't know what they were talking about financially. In 2001, on 9/11, I realized that the experts that were keeping us safe didn't know what they were talking about. And now I've come to the conclusion in 2020 that the experts that are supposedly keeping us safe and healthy don't always know what they're talking about. So I'm questioning every single avenue right now. Big picture kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think as I focus on those different things, like I say, the big picture stuff, sometimes I have a tendency to not focus so much on the day to day.
Yeah.
Because I'm like you. I'm thinking, okay, well, I understand we need to distance and we need to do this, and maybe I have to wear a mask at work for now or whatever. But what are the long-term ramifications? What am I going to give up to have the illusion that someone knows better than I do, how to take care of me? Plus, I don't believe that we can get the correct information. How do you know anymore?
Right.
There's so much propaganda on both sides. I don't know. And I don't think that's being political. I think that's just a reality of what's going on.
Right.
But this is a global thing on so many different levels. Second Amendment, First Amendment. And the only thing right now that I'm pretty sure of, there aren't too many things that I, could put my hand on the Bible and swear to. And I like that I can't do that, by the way. I like the humility that comes with that, from that realization. But one thing that I'm pretty sure of is that if the United States of America goes down, that's it. We are the last bastion, because we have that First Amendment.
Right.
We have that Second Amendment to back up that First Amendment. And other people, areas of the world, they don't have that luxury. And I don't know that a lot of people understand that, how important that is. I mean, it's everything, because if that falls, and there's forces at play right now, and again, it doesn't matter whether you're right, left, in the middle. There's forces at play that probably you and I don't even have a full comprehension of.
Right.